Hello, Roberto. What's all that? I don't know. Stuff. People are selling their merch. Do you want some honey? Or coat? Gift box. Defense to Stone Curse. Oh, that's very important. The Stone Curse is the topic of today. Moon Rabbit card. Oh. I think I need this, maybe? Not sure. It's either this or maybe like a brute card. But nah, even that, like this guy's insect. Insect. He's a demi-human. Fish. Brute. He's small. Giant spider is large. Almost all poison monsters are medium, but I don't really care about this. Better straight attack base. In your main hand, yeah, but not in your offhand. I do actually think the Tsurugi or like a Damascus is better in your main hand, but I don't believe that a Gladius is better in the offhand. I mean, I'd have to run the calcs, I guess. I don't like Zipper Bear. I like using skills. I like pressing buttons. But I wanted to make an anti-poison setup for my assassin. So I wanted to have 3 Anaconda cards for 60% more against poison, but I was just unsure what I should do with the last slot. If I should do just another poison, or if I should go for like a medium card, or... Because Raise does not seem like a good card to use for poison, unless I go like really specific. Medium is good. Because almost everything is medium on poison, except for Ungoliant. But I don't know if I would even be fighting an Ungoliant. Anyway, my tea is boiling, I'll be right back. There we go. But yeah, I don't think there's actually a right or a wrong answer in this scenario. No, that doesn't work. There we go. So, the difference is very minor. So at the end of the day, I could just go for poison in the main gosh, and that would be fine. It really just boils down to, like, do I want to specialize a little bit against any of these medium monsters for like 14% more damage or something? So I think I'm just gonna go for Anaconda in a main gosh. And then it'll just work against everything here. Either way, I don't know if I will be evading a 316 flea mob, but this is I think this is like a mini monster. Like, these are like the closest thing to something that we might be getting sometime soon. So and this is, I don't know if this is soloable. 60k help. I mean, maybe if I'm Transcendent, that might be fine. I don't really know how strong you are when you're an Assassin Cross, really. Plus, you have different builds. You can play like Soulbreaker or whatever. But either way, we don't have this yet at all, so... Manuk, don't think we have that. I think the Ungoliant is like the biggest thing that might be in the game. We don't have Einbrock, but I'm not sure if the dungeon we have is the mine dungeon, the Einbrock mine dungeon. I'm not sure. Because I think Ungoliant is probably in the game. Ancient Worms are in the game. They have 2 Argiopes, so this wouldn't even be that hard to solo, except that I think these are supposed to be in Geffen 4, or is that a different worm? I'm pretty sure it's that one. Yeah, it's in Geffen Dungeon 3, right? And Geffen Dungeon 3 is stuffed to the brim with mobs. But I think that might be one of the bigger mobs to farm on my assassin. I could also probably do like last time under prison, or what's in the culvert? Gargoyles are probably doable. So I could probably farm cramps quite easily. I don't even want to farm these. I don't think anything in the game... Well, I think we talked about this just like yesterday. I think sages use yellow gemstones? Maybe? I don't know if they do that on this server, though. No, I don't think so. Oh, wait, land protector. Yeah, this is still yellow. Yeah, my camera is lagging. I don't know why. Hold on. Maybe now. I bought the cheapest USB hubs I could find, and they are dog shit. Like if you nudge it at all, it disconnects constantly. All right. I want my panties back. I might like unironically delete this character. I'll keep it for now, but if they rework things, I might get a reset for free, but if they don't rework Stone Curse in any meaningful way, I don't think this character will ever be decently playable. Like maybe if Fire Pillar becomes actually good, but like right now it is trash. Trans class resets you anyway. Yeah, but it's not... It's easy to say that, but grinding to level 99 just for a reset is still a pain in the ass. So that's the reality there. But yes. I can still level this guy. Like I can AoE farm alarms pretty easily. And switching, like getting Frost Diver wouldn't really change that, right? And yeah, I don't need a slot. That is like the main thing I'm looking at. Hello, Despes, how's it going? Yeah. Trying to justify my life choices. Put that in there, put my panties in there. Nope. Undershirt is a manto. In reality, I mean to have my padded armor equipped. But had the day off, so finally got some okay sleep. Sounds good, dude. Finally. But I think the panty and the undershirt is superior to the padded armor before I can get an armor charm. And they are only 4.7 million, so we're almost there. Yeah. Yep, armor charm. HP plus 50. When combined with padded armor, def plus 5, HP plus 150. Swordy Merchant Thief. That's what I'm gonna do on my assassin. I already have my padded armor. Look at this economy, items below 10 mil. There are like barely anything above 10 mil. There are a few things, but not many. Herald of God, 22 mil. But otherwise, most things are farmable easily. But anyhow, I got my Tsurugi, got my Damascus, got my panties, my goggles, my rosaries, which are useless here, but you know, whatever. Sandals. Most important, black costume. You mean my colors? There are honestly not that many good colors to pick between. But yes. They have like 700 colors and 680 are bad. Like unusably bad by everyone. You look like a bubblegum wrapper or something. Yeah, they have it here. It's the same colors. But everyone uses the same set almost. Come here. Oh, I bought a new keyboard to use with my drawing tablet. Turns out it doesn't have F keys. So it's like I need to buy a new one again. I missed that when I bought it. It's got them, so I assume you just have to hold the button or something, but it's too clunky. I need my F keys. Alright. Without F keys is new to me. Yeah, it's what... You know, being a keyboard hipster is the new rad thing. So people are just like, I know people like that too. Like they just buy a new keyboard and they're like, look at my new keyboard, and it's literally just, it's just not anything. It just, oh, this is a keyboard that is smaller than a normal keyboard, and it doesn't have any text on the keycaps, and it doesn't have F keys, and it doesn't have, you know, this and that. And I'm like, this is just a worse keyboard, dude. Test? It does seem to work. Oh no. I can't click. Can't click outside or I'm gonna die. Yeah, no. I mean, in my opinion, it's just hipster nonsense. Like, what is the point? And then they have like a huge empty desk and the little keyboard is just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. Just some weird aesthetic thing, I guess. I don't get it. Might as well be collecting sneakers or something, like I wouldn't understand it anymore. Come, doggy. Come to me. Alright. We gotta do this seriously. I think I missed. I think I fucked it up. No, somehow that hit. Somehow this guy killed them over there. I don't know how, but it worked. Need to grind for a little while to make some money before we do some bullshit. I don't know if I need the snake card. What does a snake card do? Inflicts poison. Plus 20 attack and like super high chance to inflict poison with a Cave Viper card. No. I have like 100% success chance to apply poison, so it doesn't matter. I just drop that on their head and they're poisoned. So we don't actually need to kill the green ones. Walk! For the orange ones, we do need to kill. Because that's the more damage against poison element card. There's a guy here. Did he die? What happened? Did he fly wing because he saw me? So many orange ones here. Whoa, holy shit. Ah! Alright, so he is still here. Does he speak English? Might not. might not have map chat turned on either, I don't know. What server is this? This is Payon Stories. We are killing some snakes. Trying to get a Sidewinder card. Mainly. I already have a Tsurugi for it. I think I've killed like 3,500 or Sidewinders or something now. Should have gotten it by now. Statistically, but that's not how it works. Yellow? Yellow is bad, by the way. Yellow is always the shitty spear, but it does sell for 12k, so it's not bad. I don't necessarily blame him for not seeing map chat, because it's, even if you have it turned on, it's like a color that you just don't notice. Nick. it's time. I hope he doesn't die because I do this. He could. If he's not like super strong. He might get like a shitload of spawns all around him when these die. Level up. Right now, I am getting dexterity. Just so I have enough if I go to another area. And want to single target something. I want to kill goats, but I can't hit them. I can't hit anything in the goat. Oh, I can hit goats, kind of. But almost everything else in the goat area is way too evasive right now. I don't know how much dexterity I should have on this build, though. If like 50 plus is... I feel like 50 plus is almost always the goal. Unless you specifically know that you don't need more. Now, I think he might still be on the map. The spawns seem kind of good over here. Usually after having pulled here, the spawns are terrible. So I'm just gonna keep pulling up and down here, and I'm gonna leave him alone on the other side. Until the pulls here become bad, because then I assume he's left. Now, unfortunately, there are no mobs here, so I can't finish them off here right now. So we gotta go down and find a snake somewhere. Popo! That was bad. Oh boy. Wait, didn't I kill them in like 3 places? Is there more loot lying around here? I don't think so. I don't see anything. Nope. Oh, actually, let me me pour my tea before we continue. It's almost always cold when I'm drinking tea while doing this. Generally speaking, drinking tea and playing a video game is usually not great together. And like auto-attacking works, but sometimes it does that where you're just like, you click and the character is just standing there, just staring at it for like 3 seconds. And when that happens, you die, right? When you're trying to do this. So that's where Venom Dust is much better to pull with. Come on, bro, I'm giving you like infinite spawns. If he's still there, me being on this side and killing the monsters here actually means that his farm is better than if I'm not on the map. Assuming that he can kill the mobs fast enough. If he can't, then, you know, he's screwed. But, you know, not my problem. Auto attack is better to kill one-on-one, really. I think every class mobs with skills. Yeah. I mean, I feel like auto attack is kind of... The reason to really make an auto attack build is so you can go around and kill things for free as much as possible. Like, not have to use any items in any way. Because like an auto-attack build that's just standing there trying to kill bosses, I don't know if that's really a good idea. I mean, maybe you can. With a hunter you can, probably, to some degree. But even then, I think double shot would be better. Double strafe. He is currently being way too shit at this, so I'm gonna have to opt for going over to the other side and killing everything. Yeah, with like a hunter, you can kind of auto attack in a party, but I feel like if you're a melee character, because the game doesn't actually have real aggro, you kind of can't play it. Because if you're standing there, the only thing that could possibly like keep the monster off you is if like provoke maybe keeps the enemy focused on like the knight or the crusader or whatever. But like otherwise, if you go in and you start attacking, the monster's just gonna randomly look at you and just slap you in the face. And at that point, like, you basically have to be like an assassin with a shield or something. Maybe that's the build, I don't know. But from what I understand, assassins aren't really there for MVPing, fighting bosses, but I don't know. I've never actually really seen an actual, like, quote-unquote raid in this game. You know, like Thanatos or Valkyrie or Morok or whatever. I have never seen that done. Ever. So, like, I don't know how that actually works. When you look at their stats, it looks like the entire thing just like revolves around spamming revive or resurrect. So you're just gonna be like constantly getting one-shotted by things, no matter what. I would like to do more party stuff in the game, but I also don't really know if I want to do that kind of group content. Kind of tedious. But like going and killing some other bosses could be nice, I guess. But I feel like most people who do that just do it in statics, which is completely understandable. I mean, I would do that too. Issue early on is that bosses' skills have no visual cue on where they are using spells. Maybe the server have the visuals that make it much more fun. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like to me. Like, when you look at the monsters or at the bosses, I don't really know what the strats are. Do you just equip armor that just make you immune to like their level 30 spells, and that's really the entire strat? And then you just kill them. Maybe that's how it goes. Oridicon? AoE, you move away. Basic attack, you need someone to tank. Absolutely a priest to keep everyone alive, yeah, of course. And buffs to pump the DP. I mean, the bard seems... The bard seems like game-breakingly necessary for bossing. Like, if you don't have a bard, you can't go. I don't know to what extent that is true, but that seems to be the case. Because it's like gives like 250 plus attack for level 4 weapons. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of fucking damage, bro. But you know, maybe that just makes like level 4 weapons able to compete with like a carded setup or something. Like I don't know. I like the solution they gave in Renew for early MVPs. They added the green aura, which reduces all final damage by 90%. But on the boss, like the boss just takes less damage. Like, I actually don't hate the idea of renewal in a lot of ways, because a lot of the base mechanics in RO are very dated and weird. And I don't really resent the attempt to kind of mend those issues. But I don't think they succeeded. And at the same time, it's not necessarily that the systems are bad, but it also came with like a different era of the game where, you know, everything is more modern, both in terms of system design, but also in terms of content, like questing and shit like that. Like, I actually prefer, when I played on Yggdrasil for like 3 minutes, they have, when you enhance your weapons, they have like durability on the weapon, so you can fail like X amount of times, for example. I like that. Tree of Savior had the same thing. I think that's a really good mechanic. I don't know how they like approach cards and stuff. I think cards are one of the biggest issues with classic RO. Because the way low-level weapons have more card slots, and then like type cards are really OP. That's a problem, like a genuine problem, because it breaks the balance of the weapons. It's one of the reasons why two-handers are worse than one-handers, because if the high-level weapons had more card slots than low-level weapons, then you would have a larger attack disparity between two-handers and one-handers. It would be, you know... It's still not a very large disparity. I think two-handers could... Well, between two-handers, it's kind of big. Like, a Damascus versus a... Or let's go with a sword. You know, the Flamberge is really OP. But a Tsurugi has a 140, and a two-handed sword has 160. I think two-handed weapons could get buffed for sure. But that's still 20 attack, right? And they have the same amount of cards that they can equip. Whereas when you have level 1 weapons, you have an attack disparity of 7, which is very, like, it's completely irrelevant. Hello, Pew, how's it going? Yeah, I want to get my Assassin online. It's the only build I have left that feels like it makes sense. I need to re-level my Wizard, because I went Stone Curse and Fire Pillar on it, and it turns out that, well, it was semi-expected, but they were even worse than I assumed that they were gonna be. The tooltip lied to me. The Stone Curse tooltip on this server says it's instant and has like 9 range, just like Frost Diver, but that's not true at all. So it's like completely unusable. So I need to re-level that. And I just finished getting 2 Andre cards for my two-handed sword on my Crusader, when I realized that one-handed swords do more DPS anyway. And then I can also have a shield. So I'm not gonna re-level that character, because the only thing that's wrong with it is that I have two-handed sword mastery instead of one-handed sword mastery. So that'll fix itself later. if I just transcend it. Otherwise it's losing like a little bit of damage. Hello, Kudu. Or fine. Just getting some grind in. I might level a new wizard today, we'll see. Feels like instead of fixing, they added stuff on top and left as is. And so it adds to modernization of the gameplay loop and so on. The issue is not change, it's just many bad changes. Yeah. I think that's fair. No, I missed. All right, I'm gonna get him. There we go. How's Kudu? I'm done with RO. Had this weird micro lag issue again. Nothing helped. Okay. Yeah, that's strange. I wish I had some idea what it could be, but I have like no experience with GG Voodoo either. Come on. Different API output was a temporary fix. I don't really have any ideas. Yeah, no, I don't know. The only thing I can really suggest is like, I have the same issues even without. Oh, okay. The only thing I can even suggest is the old classic. And this works in like 0% of cases. The fuck? It's set to low priority? By default? What? Why? But yes, you can try changing this. And see if that fixes it. You can even try setting it to above normal. It never works except for like 1% of the time, then it actually fixes things. It worked for me in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 when I was streaming it. And that's literally the only case I can remember where it actually worked. Some guy in the internet suggested I turn off Nagel's algorithm. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Could be some weird micro, like, I don't know. This game's code is jank. It might like lock up your game for a second. because it's like not used to getting lag in like that function or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Probably, very likely that is not a solution, but I mean, maybe. Changing priority and fucking with cores could be like a thing to try, because modern CPUs are way too advanced for their own good as well. We should have gone over to the green area. This pool is kind of mid. Yeah, I don't think it would freeze either. The priority thing helped me in RimWorld. And in Grim Dawn as well. But yeah, most of the time it does nothing. Yeah, most of the time it doesn't do anything. But it could. If why are heights? Why are heights so bad in this game? Why? Why am I not able? Why am I not allowed to walk in staircases? Why? Why is it so difficult? I feel like when you're on a sand dune like this, like there is a height thing going on here. I feel like it's the same thing as. Do you have Windows 10? Maybe this is an issue of Windows 11. I have Windows 10. So yeah, it might be a partially Windows 11 thing. But again, for sure, test the priority thing and see if that does anything at all. That's an easy test at least. Just doing the simple things, like changing compatibility mode on the executable and shit like that, is a good place to start. And you know that it's not DG Voodoo, so... So it might be something to do with Windows compatibility layer, because it does do things like I'm not like super versed when it comes to those things, but from what I understand, like you're not actually running Direct 7 just natively. It's being ran through a compatibility layer, and whatever function is being called when you're doing those things is doing something weird because of the translation between the X7 and the compatibility layer. But how to fix that, I don't know. Especially not without like altering the exe, because there are compatibility programs where you can kind of patch executables to fix certain things. But RO code seems really bad. It's one of the worst programmed games of all time, probably. This game was jank when it came out. Like it was not. Yeah. Alright, that snake's way too far. But yeah, no, that's unfortunate. Have you specifically Googled for like RO Windows 11? But Windows 11 is still kind of new, so might not be that many people who have the problems or have even solved them. RO player base isn't that big. Oof. Oh yeah, I have tea. It's cold. But the RO is DirectX 7, right? I feel like DirectX 7 was like a huge era. Took forever before they switched over to DirectX 9. Ouch. All right. Snake. No, he fucking moved. And he wasn't aggro. There we go. Yeah, Snake died. Okay, that was it. All right. All right, let's take a little peek. Where does this lead anyway? What should we Google? Windows 11 DX7 micro shutter. Direct X7. No, not 11. Google is so fucking garbage nowadays. Yes, add DirectX 7. Still have to play MGS5, but the incessant tutorial chattering made me mad. There's a mod to shut it up, but went after it yet. I didn't like the 5th game, you know, like, not a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, but it's in my opinion the worst game in the series by far. Like 3 or 2 are the best games. Five is just like you're just grinding in it, but like some people like that, and if that fits, then yeah. But I didn't like it. Like Snake literally doesn't have a personality. It's like a silent pro tag. It's so dumb. I have tried DX Wrapper with my PC and 1440 resolution works for me, yet there are still some stutters/lags, especially when moving the camera. I decided to try DG Voodoo with latest version with much better results than DX Wrapper. It doesn't really they don't really seem to be doing anything special here. But it could be like you can try the directions for the settings there and see if anything there might affect it. Fuck's sake. Hate that. G-Sync. Do you have a G-Sync monitor? I'm sure that this isn't G-Sync. Did you try turning it off? Because if your monitor has a variable frame rate, or if your computer changes that at all, even for your desktop, that could affect it. For sure, because all games are sensitive to that kind of stuff. But if you changed that, or if you turned that off, then yeah. Hmm. Splinter Cell stuttering. The game can indeed stutter because of background shade recompiling. But in WIP 40, I quite optimized handling of DX8 shaders, and SEs go like butter for me since then. GOG version works like a charm with old hardware acceleration. No idea why my old CD version doesn't. Most weird part of this issue is that sometimes all is okay, and if I play with that same open instance of client, all is good for the whole session. Okay. Do you change your monitor settings at all otherwise? Like between sessions, maybe? No? power settings, changing that. That I've never ever heard that actually solve anyone's problems. Setting it to like performance or whatever. Balanced. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. You could install Windows 10 instead. Or even better, Windows 7. I'm sure Windows 7 would work just fine. Or Windows XP. You won't be able to run your... I mean, you could install a virtual... but it sucks ass to game like that. I tried installing Baldur's Gate 2 on a virtual PC. And they lag like crazy. Even when you do like things correctly. Yeah, you can fix it. You know, there's like a workaround that you can enable some shit, and then it'll use your GPU instead of the virtual one. But even then, it's still laggy as hell. Yeah, you could try changing something like this too. I don't think glide is relevant here. Fast video memory access. Something you could try. Enabling if it's not on already. But these are my settings anyway, and they work just fine. Type in your VRAM here. So, I mean, that's not my VRAM, but... Not sure that I'll be able to pass through my GPU to virtual. You can. I did it previously and on my last CPU, and I had a 5900X, and it doesn't have a built-in one, but it's not worth it. It's a pain in the ass. You would unironically be better off like installing, like trying Windows 10 or something. But that's a lot of effort to play RO, I'll be honest. Because it might just be like some minor thing. And figuring out which setting needs to be what for what reason is like... Especially when it's something that happens sporadically as well, right? Another thing that could maybe be a solution is if you try playing and it happens, try turning off the game, then you open up the setup, then just press OK, and then try launching it again. I doubt that will change much, but RO is like super anal about its settings. So like maybe, but I doubt it. I would try that anyway, personally. But it's not as anal about it with DG Voodoo. Already a bit tired. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, angry Popo. Ouch! This isn't even some sort of floating issue on the commercial product where I work. Yeah, don't wanna finish your vacation on the note of failing to get Ragnarok Online to run smoothly. That's gonna be sour. Got him. Yeah, I mean, unless you really, really, really want to keep playing RO. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I need to manage to keep playing this game, otherwise I'm gonna go insane, because there's nothing else to do. So, I'm desperate, personally. Gotta keep going. My poison react hits for almost 1,000, so it could be good later. Learn some new stuff from game development or C#? Not really. I feel like most of the time when doing programming work, it's, you know, zug zug. I'm way past the hardest part, which is like programming renderers and shit. And for that, I did a lot of research. I was like reading and learning new things constantly, but I'm past the hardest part of that. So now it's just like grunt work, setting up, you know, systems and making animations play and stuff like that. And it's just tedious work, to be honest. And C# is simple. I feel like I know almost everything I need to know from C# now. There are still some small things that... Like, I think C# is one of the best languages to work in. C# and Java, like, I don't really understand the point of Java. To be honest, I haven't really worked in it much. I did a little bit of Python, but like Python, it's just like working in C#, except it's worse. You know, like I don't see, because C# is so simple that there's like no reason to go anywhere else. Like, the only reason to use anything other than C# for me is if I want to go C++ or C, because like, I need to do something that's like memory sensitive or some shit. But even for complicated video games, C# can handle it in most cases. So it's like I don't really want to move away from C# for like any reason, really. I tried Rust, because I kept seeing people were like, "Oh, Rust is so good, it's better than C++, oh, performance." And I tried it, and it's just a fucking clusterfuck, dude. Like you basically have to relearn the entire programming paradigm, and it's just C++, except they have a different way of like thinking. So it didn't really solve anything. It was just like, we made this programming language because we like to organize our code in like this way, because our brains work like slightly differently. So it didn't feel very useful. Because if you're coming from a C family language, you know, it's almost all the same. It's really easy to learn any new language. But Rust is completely different. So it was really hard to learn. I actually don't know what Golang is at all. But I'm not really a programmer. That's the thing. I'm not a programmer, I'm not an artist. The only reason I know these things and do these things is because I picked them up to make video games. I don't really enjoy programming that much. I don't really enjoy drawing stuff that much. But I can do it. I'm a systems guy. I like designing systems and video games as a whole. I'm an ideas guy. x86 assembly is the way to go. Of course. We're gonna go with assembly. That's what we're gonna do this pass. But no, I am actually an ideas guy. I think that is my strength as a game developer, but I'm also able to do everything else. I can't do music because I haven't had the energy to get into it, but I did buy music stuff to learn how to do that, but I haven't gotten to that. I don't like learning new things either. It's a lot of work to learn stuff. I bought a guitar, but I haven't been playing it. Too much work. You did learn how to program though? Yeah, but that was a long time ago. Now I'm old. Can't learn new things anymore. Now I'm working with PHP web development just for better money. I mean, that's fair. Where's my SP region? I don't know. I don't know what my build needs to be. That's why I kind of want to move away from this. Because I need to know what I need to sacrifice for intelligence, if I need more intelligence. But I don't think I need more intelligence, but I don't know. My skills are really expensive. But I don't mean to spam them. It's just like I might need to use 3 abilities on one monster. Because that's the setup. But Poison React also lasts for 6 hits. So I might not need to cast it on every mob either. And it costs 45. It's the most expensive skill. Venom Splasher is 30. So the idea is basically I go in, Venom Dust the monster, Venom Splasher it once, and then Poison React, and then just finish it off with auto attacks. But even that combo is like 95 SP, which is very expensive. But we'll see. We'll see. First of all, we need to get a Sidewinder card before we can even tell if this is worth struggling with. 2 stilettos. Not bad. That's money. Come here, Snake. Why are you so slow? Yeah, I mean, it might not be a fix at all. It might literally just be that it accidentally worked, like it does sometimes. Like, yeah. I know the feeling. Ooh. Just a few months ago, or like last month even almost, I had a problem with my computer just crashing. And I tried everything. And I mean everything. I reformatted Windows like 6 times. Tried a new PSU. I used my old GPU. I replaced, like I switched to another hard drive. Right, like every single setting I could imagine. And it only happened when I was streaming. And one week I tried streaming without the webcam for a week, and then it didn't crash at all for the whole week. So I was like, okay, so this is related to the webcam, apparently. So I tried like replacing my extension cords for the webcam. I tried buying a new webcam. I tried, you know, I tried everything with the camera, and it just didn't work. And eventually we gave up, and, you know, we just bought new parts for the computer. I bought a new motherboard, I bought new RAM, I bought a new CPU. And it still crashed. Turns out it was my previous capture card, which I had been using for 10 years. And I have never had an issue with it, so it never came to me to actually unplug that and try without that. The whole thing with the webcam kind of like put me on the wrong trail for weeks. So eventually, you know, it just took too long to figure out what it was, so we just bought new things. And the fact that it still crashed was like immediately, oh, it's that. And the reason it crashed was because like my entire setup was still the same with like as it was before, but I had bought a new graphics card. So before I was using a GeForce 1060, and now I'm using a Radeon RX 7600 XT or something. And my old capture card was having some conflict with the GPU. So it just kept randomly blue screening. So then when I finally replaced that, it stopped blue screening. But that was like a month or more worth of work days that was lost because I had to figure that shit out. Because, you know, if I was trying to code, especially if I was streaming trying to do it, I have a hard time programming without the stream. It helps me focus. You know, it would just crash while I was working, and I would just lose progress every single day. It was literally driving me crazy. But glad that's over. And I've been struggling with stress as well. Like I've mentioned that I've been burnt out quite badly, and that definitely did not help. Alright, let's pop them. God damn it. Woo! Yep, don't do that. Bought a separate MacBook just for work because of similar shit. Yeah, yeah. Let's take a little look. AC top. 4,900 Sidewinder kills, 3,200 Wolf kills, 2,615 Anaconda kills. I do have one Desert Wolf card and one Anaconda card. No Sidewinder card. Never seen leveling like this, damn cool. Yeah, this strat only works on this server because they have rebalanced some things. So here you can use Venom Splasher as a real skill. In vanilla RO, Venom Splasher is just bad, I think. I think you can still kind of do this with it, but not nearly to the same degree. Because normally Venom Splasher has like you need like you need a red gemstone first and foremost, which is annoying as hell. And it takes 10 seconds for the skill to explode after you put it on a monster. And you can only put it on a monster that's lower than 75% of its life. And then it will explode. So like I think this is still doable doing that. But it would suck balls. It would be super annoying. Yeah, no, I think most of the changes they have made are good. Right now I'm just in disagreement with them about not making Stone Curse more viable. But, you know, I can live with that, I think. I'll just make a Frost Diver wizard. It'll ruin my RP a little bit, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal, I suppose. There's being doable, and there is that any other skill is easier and faster. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you have a choice when you, if you want to make a server at this point, like we are in 2025 right now. If you're gonna host yet another RO server, or you're just gonna make it exactly the same as RO was back in the day. You can, absolutely. But you also have to ask yourself, like, how many of the things that were in RO, in the way they were in RO, were actually good for the game? Right? I mean, you're supposed to have fun in video games. I think what he means is like the vanilla version of Venom Splasher is so clunky and shitty that like just doing literally anything else will be more fun and also more efficient. Yeah. So like personally, I'm not really, you know, I don't really care about. The only thing I care about when it comes to vanilla RO is that it's a game about, you know, it's more of a sandbox grind game than it is anything else. Like you figure out the progression, and it's also that it has the progression intact. So like if I make a new character or a new account, I have to actually work to level up and all of that. That's why I don't like the state of like Migao leveling right now, because it diminishes the integrity of the game, in my opinion. And beyond that, like, I don't really care about maintaining classic balance otherwise. So like I'm completely fine with adjusting and changing things, even overhauling things at this point, right? Like we're quite far into the future from this game's launch. There are many things that could be changed. If I was to make an RO server, which I never will, ever, under any circumstances, I would make a lot of changes. For sure. Not sure I would go as far as Ratis with like changing everything, but there are definitely things that wouldn't hurt if it changed. I think I would probably remove every single type card. Like damage versus type. I'm not sure, but I think I would. Because I think it exists already. I think it's bad for the game. And type, like the concept that type cards enable, which is like targeted farm, you can make a build for this and that. I think that exists already with weapon sizes and weapon types. and elements. And I think the cards actually detract from it more than anything. Because when you're using a low-level weapon, you're not affected by the type system anymore. Like it only exists if you're using a high-level, like, elemental weapon. So I would rather see the game revolve more around high-level weapons than low-level weapons. I think it's fine that low-level weapons are useless after a while. It's better. Like, I get the idea of wanting equipment to exist beyond just the leveling phase. But I think it's bad that they're like this. I don't think that is good. Back to snakes. Cards should also make low-level equipment that would eventually be useless to be more useful while you're leveling, so you could just experiment more with cards without the weight of it. Take 3k enemies to drop a single shit card. Yeah, see, there are problems with the way things are. It's not necessarily easy to fix. But, like, because cards are so rare right now, right? How do I put this? One of the things I really enjoyed about Trio Savior was that you could constantly try to improve your character by farming a new weapon and attempting to upgrade it higher than your previous one. Right? And the fact that cards are so rare and so expensive, especially on a small server, I think, and I don't think it's necessarily fair to judge it based only on that, or around with that context in mind, because I mean it is designed for like a larger server in reality, which is why high drop rates might be, you know, actually a necessity at some point. But the fact that, oh, we got to level 50 or job level 50 from killing a Thara frog, hell yeah. But because they are so rare, it means that you're really only ever gonna put cards into like a perfect weapon already, more or less. So it's like you really have to weigh in, like, is it worth it to put these cards into like a +5 Tsurugi? Or should you save it until you get a +7? I'm just gonna put it into a +5 because, you know, whatever, fuck it. I might try to make a +6, but probably not. Maybe if I get a drop, I'll just do it and try. But then, like, try to improve that to like get a +7. It's quite difficult, but even so, the level 3, like if you're playing a non-assassin, for example, the level 3 weapon is the worst weapon. So even then, you know, working to try to get like a +7 carded weapon is kind of like weird too. It just boils down to like making a +10 like level 1 weapon. Which is so cheap that it's not worth not doing it, you know? So, and then when you already have it at +10, you can't really upgrade it anymore. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I think RO really fails when it comes to having that feeling of like progressively upgrading certain things. It's more about like getting that item for that slot and then you're done, kinda. I guess later on, when you're like fully decked out, I guess there is that hunt for like a +7 piece of armor still, or even higher than that. But it does have an issue. Like in Tree of Savior, for the longest time, all you did was you went and grinded the dungeon or raid or whatever to get the like another copy, and then you just smashed resources into it to upgrade it and try to get it higher than your previous one. And that was like kind of the gameplay loop, and that was actually pretty good. You didn't really have to socket it with a bunch of shit, but they did have that. Like you could still socket it with gems to give it higher attack, right? And grinding up those gems was kind of expensive too, but it wasn't like, you know, backbreaking. So you could keep farming like a better weapon and play it for like a really long time on like one character. And the cards were separate there, but the cards were not as interesting there either. Yeah, I mean, it still has what I'm talking about for sure, but like that's one of the things that seems to be more of a direction for renewal, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because they, you know, they added like durability and stuff. So I don't know if gear upgrading feels better there, but there is still that factor of also having to card things, and cards are like ultra rare. But I also really like that you can card things, because it adds like unique function to all of the gear. So I think a big missing puzzle is woe. That's true, but PvP is a whole other beast when it comes to balancing, and it is also a problem. Oh, I think that's actually a Tsurugi. A lot of grinding and gearing for me was all about the PvP. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. It was the same in Tree of Savior too. To some degree. Like we had something called the Gemstone Wars or something like that, which was just like a daily server-wide thing where you can head into the gemstone mines, and then you would get sorted into 2 teams, and you would fight over like crystals. And then the winning team would get extra rewards. And then later on, they also added some like guild versus guild thing where you had to fight a big dragon. But I was playing on EU, and there was literally only one server that could, or one guild that could even fight the dragon at all. I could never get into toss. I hated how the progression was railroaded through quests. Yeah, I mean, that's modern MMOs, right? That's why I don't like renewal. But it's one of those things that you maybe for some people it's completely intolerable, but for me it's something that I have tolerated for you know, quite a long time, and I was like, I didn't like it, but you know, it worked, like whatever. Nowadays I just cannot stand questing anymore. It's like the game doesn't, there's no point in playing the game when it's done through questing. You're just running, you're just walking around. But if you are like a classic RO veteran, then yeah, for sure. Especially if you play other games like EQ or whatever. And now it's even worse, so. Now you can just skip it entirely, just start at like level 470. Or I think they removed that, actually. They had it in there, but it made the game so bad that they had to delete it. It's like every single new player that started... Okay, another Tree of Savior rant time. So, what happened... What happened was that... the game ended up becoming kind of long to get through all the episodes, right? To get to the end. It wasn't actually particularly long, but because the game uses, like, you get to like level 500 now, but the levels are really short. It's stupid. Like, I don't know why they decided to go with like hundreds of levels, but it makes the game look like completely inaccessible for new people. Like, it looks like, you know, oh shit, 500 levels? I'm gonna have to play for, like, literally, like, 6 months to catch up. Like, no, it takes, like, a week, literally, to get to 500. But then they started adding, like, boosts, you know? They made everything easier, catch-up mechanics, get free items, blah, 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 blah. And what happened was that they began to realize that people don't actually only play for the end game. Most people who start the game to play the game want to level. They want to play the whole game. So what happened was that when you made a new account, they forced you, hard forced you, to make a max level character, okay? You could not make a low-level character. And then on your main character, or on your max level character, they would give you boxes. Yeah, okay, then it is absolutely ridiculously how insanely badly managed Tree of Savior was. Like, it is unimaginably bad. So they did that, and then they put people on a max level character. They had to play through a tutorial, like semi like introduction thing, to like catch up on the story. And you had to play through this before you could make a low level character. And every single person who did this, you get a pop-up that shows like, here's your reward boxes. And then you just click it and you get it in your inventory and you're like, all right. And then you finish playing through the tutorial. And then they would delete the character because they didn't want to play a max level character. And like, they made a swordsman and they were like, but I want this name. I want to play this class. All right, I'm just going to delete the character. And then they would make a new low-level character. And then they would start playing and they would level up. And then 3 weeks later, when they got to the end game, they would be like, okay, so I'm at this place now where I can no longer progress because there are no quests anymore and monsters don't give XP. How do I progress through this? And the solution to this is that in one of these boxes that they give you when you log in for the first time on your max level character that you have now deleted because you didn't want it, contains an XP boost that boosts you through these zones to the end game. And you can no longer get this at all because you deleted the box. So your entire account is bricked permanently. And not only that, the first and like the second boxes, like you get them like from the first day and then the second day, etc. So like if you've deleted the first or the second box, the more boxes you have missed or like accidentally deleted, the more bricked your account is, because they also gave you like instant free like set bonuses that you need to have on your armor that is literally impossible to get in the game otherwise, because no one is doing that content anymore, but they're still like keeping the set bonuses as like the main thing that you need in the game. So because nobody's doing the thing, they have to give it out for free. And if you accidentally deleted that, or you picked the wrong one, you can no longer play the game, your account is bricked. And like there were like 8 boxes like this, and if you picked even one thing wrong in any of these boxes, then your character and your entire account was broken, and you had to make a new one. So and the game is still like that, except that they've removed like the max level thing, and you just start from scratch now, always. But the game is like pathetically easy. You one-shot every single boss. And you can't find items anymore because they have like this new system where you just upgrade a piece of gear forever. And oh my god, like the thing is, I feel like a lot of developers feel like, you know, oh, the genre is dying or something, but like it isn't. Like, they are literally committing suicide at alarming rates. Like, I don't know what these developers are doing. They're insane. They have no clue what they're doing. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I always hated that end-game focus as well. The whole game should be fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the end game isn't even fun. That's the thing. Like, I spent the whole... I spent 2,500 hours, and the majority of that was just leveling characters, right? And I also spent a lot of time farming to upgrade my characters, and there was like daily things you could do with your characters, so having more characters meant you could do... It was like a challenge mode. It like... There was like waves of monsters that came at you, right? So you could do that once a day on every character. So the more characters you had, the more you could play this mode. So I just made a bunch of characters, so I could just grind that thing like every day. I just logged in and played all of my characters and just made a bunch of money, right? And then they also removed that. Removed the ability to make alts entirely. Last Epoch failed so much on this for me. I mean, yeah. It feels you're just forced to rush through the campaign. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with the quests, right? Like it's there's only one way to play the game. You just follow the quest line, and like if you're not reading it, then like what are you doing? Like if you're reading it once and enjoying it once, like sure, fine. Then it actually serves its purpose. But the second time, you're literally just walking. Like you're not actually playing a video game. You're just walking. And yeah, I ranted about this, and this is a ranting channel, by the way. I'm like ultra turbo black pill when it comes to video games, and I'm also a game developer, so I'm like super critical of every video game ever. But like it's hard to find a game that actually solves this too, because you have other games. I talked about this earlier today, but like Pantheon, for example, which is trying to be more, you know, less quest based. It's more about just actually grinding, killing mobs, you know, whatever. But like the Final Fantasy XI style of grinding isn't really particularly appealing to me either. Like I want the game to be more like an adventure, role-playing, doing things. That's where I always thought Guild Wars 2 was the closest, but like that approach, I think they failed massively. Because the game doesn't feel roleplay at all. Like it just feels like a theme park kinda. I like the event idea in Guild Wars 2 a lot, but it's like a really weakly implemented. I played a lot of Guild Wars 1 PvP too. I actually never PvE'd in Guild Wars 1. I was a PvPer. I didn't really... I mostly did it because I had friends who did it, but I did play it a lot. So, like if you're a GVG enjoyer for Guild Wars 1, for example, we did a lot of that. It's not the same in Guild Wars 2. I think the PvP in Guild Wars 2 is actually pretty good. Like the arena type stuff. But it's not the same game. Like it's very different. But like the PvE in Guild Wars 2 is completely meaningless. You're just like you're just running between things. Like drops or kind of whatever. And then when you get to end game, like finding cool items is completely meaningless. Not even hard to do anything in it. But I did when Guild Wars 2 came out, I PvP'd in it a lot. We did like group PvP stuff, and it's actually pretty like the skill cap is really high actually when you're doing like the capture point modes and stuff like that. But you know, world versus world, it's not the same as guild versus guild at all. In fact, it's pretty bad. It's mostly just zerging, and then like you can't really do anything unless you find like a voice chat somewhere. And even then, like almost every world versus world map, it feels like super dead now. I don't know. I think you can have fun there, but yeah, I don't know. But what I was gonna say earlier. Oh no, I did talk about that, like Pantheon. That whole like pulling mobs and just standing in one place grinding. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I've been on the fence for Pantheon for like a month now, whether I should buy it or not, but it's $40. I don't like the visuals, I don't like the races, the world seems really uninspired. You can climb in it, I really like that. And yeah, I don't know. RF Online. I don't know if I can comment on RF. RF came at a point where I was like just tired of MMOs being like RO clones over and over again. Because back then, during the era where RF came out, there were like literally a billion million MMOs that came out, and they were all the same. Like, I can't even mention them all. Like Requiem, whatever, like everything's... But I was also a kid, and just the fact that a game had a subscription cost was like a complete... You know, I couldn't do that. I literally didn't have a credit card. My mom didn't even have a credit card for ages. Or a debit card. I played all of those games though, but I think RF was like one of the last ones before I just gave up and just like played some World of Warcraft. But yeah, you asked about Final Fantasy XIV, and Final Fantasy XIV is the worst MMO. And I say that not because I think it's a bad game, but because I think it's a bad MMO. Like, I actually like Final Fantasy XIV. I played every expansion. You know, I leveled a lot in it. But it's a single-player game. Like, I think it's the best Final Fantasy game, but it's the best single-player Final Fantasy. Except that you can party in it a little bit. So, you know. But, like, the actual MMO aspect of FF14 is really bad. Like, when you get to endgame, there's nothing to do other than just joining roulettes or, like, crafting. Or just running around doing fates forever. So, you know. And I really enjoyed the story up until the latest expansion, and Walker post-quests were terrible too. I mean, I thought the story was kind of mid, to be honest. I don't like Around Reborn. I thought Heavensward and Stormblood was kind of eh, but I thought Shadowbringers was really stellar, and it made me enjoy the others more afterwards too, in hindsight, because it was so good. But yeah, no, as an MMO, I think it's the worst MMO, because it's barely an MMO. Stop! They're trying to steal my shit! Trying to steal my loot! Is this one of you? Are you just here to give me buffs? Thank you. I don't know who this person is. Thanks. Thanks. I actually enjoyed an MMO called Luna Online before. LOL might be an obscure title. I've never heard of that actually. But that's what I mean. Like at some point, there were so many MMOs that came out, especially from Korea, that even if you were like a massive MMO enthusiast, you couldn't follow them all. Like, there were so many. They just never stopped releasing them. It was like a hail. I always wondered if FF14 had any game before raids. I only see raids everywhere. It is a story game. Like, you literally cannot play the game if you don't do the story. The story unlocks everything. And the story is really long. But it's not for everyone. You know, it is kind of weeby in the writing, so like if you can't enjoy the weebiness of it, then, you know, it's over before it started, pretty much. And it doesn't help that you have to play through Around Reborn, which is just bad. Like, the writing in Realm Reborn is so bad. It's like 2 out of 10. The way I rated them is like, a Realm Reborn is 2 out of 10. Heavensward is maybe a 5 at best. Stormblood is a 4. It's like slightly worse, just because it's more tedious and worse characters. Shadowbringers is like a strong 7 for me, but I don't really rate things high. But the 7 is pretty high for me, I'll be honest. It's one of the highest ratings I'd give like most stories. But even then, every expansion is just full of filler, and the pacing is really bad too. So like you have to be able to tolerate all of those things for it to actually be good. And Endwalker is slightly worse than Shadowbringers. And Dawntrail is 1 out of 10. It literally, it's so bad that I'm not buying the next expansion pack unless they do something very, very drastic. I'm not gonna resubscribe. I'm not gonna play endgame patches or anything after Dawntrail. Fuck Dawntrail, dude. What a piece of shit. For me, Final Fantasy XIV has ended. Like, it's like Dragon Ball. For me, Dragon Ball ends after Frieza. You know, Android Saga and Boo, they don't exist. I barely ever watch them. Like, I stopped watching it after Frieza dies. So for me, Endwalker is the end. And I'm fine with that, because, you know, I thought it was good. Show my equip. I have sandals and a tsurugi. Yeah. Goggles. Oh shit. No. Okay. Hello, Andre. Too many bad MMOs now. I'll be done with MMOs if I can't fix this issue with RO. Maybe I'll play some Diablo 2. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was waiting for Path of Exile 2. Like, I was literally going insane. Like, you know, like cabin fever kind of feeling. Like sitting in my chair, just like writhing. And I was waiting for Path of Exile 2 to heal me, I guess. And it did for a while. Like, I played that for almost 2 months, dude. And I'm still waiting for more content. It's just, I don't think it's bad. I'm actually pretty happy with Path of Exile 2. I just hope that they steer the ship in the right direction from here on. I actually enjoyed Path of Last Epoch for a while. I saw that was mentioned before. Because they do a lot of things I like, but it's still too basic, I guess, for me. You know, I really like that you can... It's not that it's basic, actually. I can tell you what my issue is with it. It's the same issue I have with Path of Exile 1. So, it's really cool that you can change the way the abilities work, and you like have talent trees for each individual skill and stuff like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty badass. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. because your build kind of just ends up being a one-button build anyway, almost. Plus, the way classes work, you have to pick like Spellblade or, you know, Elementalist or whatever it's called, Sorcerer. You have to become a Necromancer, etc. And because you have to do this, I know they call them specializations, but what I hate about them is that the fact that they exist, all they do is they subtract from the build diversity of the game, right? So like if you're playing a mage and you go with Spellblade, every single thing that you take in the Spellblade tree almost exclusively only makes melee abilities better. So that means that combining melee skills with spells is like almost always objectively bad. So now all that the addition of this speciality or the specialization, all it has done is it has made the game have less build diversity. Path of Exile 1 does the same thing, where because the passive tree exists at all, you have to specialize in one thing. You have to pick like fire damage or like axes only, and because of this, you can't really make any hybrid characters in any meaningful way. And even if you do, it doesn't even fit in with the in the gameplay loop either way. Like there's no reason to do that. You can always just make one button better than two buttons in Path of Exile 1. And even so, like that's not entirely true. In reality, to make like a good build, you just pick like all the skills that's gonna boost like your main skill, even if they don't fit thematically. Like you just pick like Firewall or whatever, even if you're a melee character or a ranger or whatever, because it's just gonna give you more damage. But at the end of the day, it still is like that, you know. You have to hyper specialize, and because of that, in reality, all that's happening is that you have less builds that you can do. Even if you have like all these skills that you can freely equip and combine, you just have less because you have the whole customization option of the passive tree there, which is why I hate the passive tree. It's better in Path of Exile 2 because you can swap weapons, and then you can like swap the way your passive tree is. You know, you can have two different trees, kind of. But it's a very, it's not a good solution. It's hyper complicated, clunky, and it's more like a forced solution to solve like a bad system than anything else. It's not optimal, but and it comes with other issues. Like if you're playing a melee character in PoE 2, what you can do is you can just find like two weapons. So you just have like one set that's just like a let's say it's a hammer and a shield, and your other set is also a hammer and a shield. And then you just make it so that your second set has a passive tree that's just hyper focused on AoE. So that when you press your AoE button, it just switches over to that, and you now just have like 10 times more AoE. And when you use your single target ability, it switches to the first set that's just focused on that. And it's just not good, you know, like it's just weird. But better than nothing, I suppose. But yeah. I haven't really looked that much at Ashes of Creation. I also saw that was mentioned before. But yeah, like even before release, like everything around it just seems really scummy. And I guess we'll see. I can't really judge it that much. But I'm gonna assume it's just gonna be like World of Warcraft 2, more or less. I don't know. For now, we're gonna have to settle with Monster Hunter and RO and Path of Exile leagues for the foreseeable future. There's another like a sci-fi MMO coming out, but it just doesn't look very good. Dar's Reach or whatever. I almost don't even want to mention the Korean MMOs that are coming, because they're gonna come with Korean monetization, which is unplayable, to be honest. Can't wait for the PoE event, actually. Oh, the PoE 1, the Freisha thing, or whatever. I'm not gonna play it. I'm like super over Path of Exile 1, but I am glad that they're finally doing that, because I've hated almost all new PoE leagues, because they're not like, they're not, you know, new expansions. Like, they're not new additions to the game. They're just, you know, they're just Balloons TD5 in Path of Exile. Or like you're playing Hades now in Path of Exile. You're playing whatever. You're playing Tower Defense. You're playing whatever. And I don't like those. Like every single time I mention it, someone says that that's their favorite league, and it pisses me off. But like Trials of the Ancients, the worst league I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've been for ages just been saying, like, why don't they just make content leagues? Like, just make a league that's just more uniques, add some ascendancies, focus more on, you know, putting actual real content into the game. That's just Path of Exile content. Why does it all have to be some fucking minigame league? It's not, it just detracts from the game. So the fact that they're actually doing that finally, I think is really good. That's my favorite league. Yeah, Tota is the worst league ever made. I hate it so much. But yeah, that's what I expected. Don't kill me. My actual favorite is OG Harvest. I thought Harvest was decent. A little bit heavy on the minigame. But it was decent overall, yeah. But I don't like, I don't like non-PoE games in PoE. I don't like the newest expansion either. Like, I just want to play Path of Exile. Like, it's not an MMO. Stop adding weird things to it. And I also think that it's bad. Like, genuinely, because they have like there is one thing that I have a genuine issue with, and it's that they have a conflicting design philosophy where they keep having, you know, they want you to choose between this and that. They want you to be able to choose which content you want to participate in, but then they also put content in there that's exclusive to that, right? And I get that to some degree, like you might want to have uniques that only drop there or whatever, but often it's just more basic things like you need to get these and those oils. So it's like you're still forced to do it. And yeah, I know the solution is trading, but I think trading just ruins the game. Trading is like between friends. The second you start trading, you just beat in the game instantly. I'm not very for trading in ARPGs. Like in Path of Exile 2, I have to do Ultimatum, and I have to do Trial of the Secumus. I have to do it. I don't have a choice, and I hate them. They're garbage. And like Trial of the Ancients is probably gonna be the next trial, and I'm gonna have to do that, and I hate it. So it's actually, you know, it's just forcing me to do shit that I don't want to do. It's either that or like I have to go trading, and I also don't want to trade. So at the end of the day, I just lose. Seems like a problem for forever games that annoys you too. If you keep adding things to the game, sooner or later something will fall off. I don't mind since I don't play those, but that is why I prefer closed games that just end. I actually like forever games, but it is an issue of them. And a lot of the games that we have that are live service and have been around forever, they've actually started off with design concepts that don't stand the test of time, like World of Warcraft, for example. That's why it makes sense to reset them with like classic and progression servers. Because the game isn't really designed, it's only designed to work within the current season, quote unquote. And if you just keep adding things to it, then, especially if you keep adding levels to it, then things eventually stop making sense. But even in a game like Path of Exile, it can be a problem too. You know, like if you just keep adding more and more uniques to it, for example, the more uniques you add to it, the more you dilute the unique pool, meaning it's more and more hard to get like a certain item. And the more you do that, the more and more the game becomes forced into trading. And like I don't actually think that Path of Exile is meant to be a game that is about trading. I know the developers have in the past said that the game is designed around trading, but I don't think that's what they mean. I think that it's more like they want the game to function with trading, and it should be fine to want to trade and want to have an economy, but the game is at its core designed to be playable and completable, even the end game, as a solo player. And that's why I think they have conflicting design design philosophies, where it's like on one hand you have all this content and all these game modes to choose between, but at the same time they force you to play them as a solo player. So it's like the only thing that's actually forcing or trade into the game is that they keep adding all these mini games with exclusive content in it. So I always thought it needed a rotating system like Magic the Gathering, where you only have a few active blocks. That is a way to do it. For sure. But it is a difficult problem to solve, right? Because at the same time, the fact that they keep adding things to it and they keep making new seasons, new things, is also good, right? Because that's what makes it fun to come back. For me, like, the only issue is really, I just wish there was more crossover between the rewards of things, so that, like, I hate doing Blight. Blight is the worst league. I like leagues that are more like strong boxes. Strong boxes, Torment, just shrines, things that are just in the game. I think Alva is kind of good, but I don't like Alva. Because it's time-based. Like, there's so many issues. Like, why do they make time-based things? Alva is cool, Legion is cool, but then they're time-based, so you can only... Oh, it's so weird. So it's time-based, so you can only do it with, like, speedrunning builds. And the league content is always a higher level than the map. So to be able to participate in the time-based DPS check league mechanic, you have to play the game at a low level, where the game isn't challenging at all, like you're literally one-shotting yellows. Otherwise, you cannot get everything out of any time-based league mechanic. So, you know, like, they like talking about risk and reward, but in reality, it's literally just like you have to take no risk to get the max reward. So, like, that's just weird to me. But otherwise, like, Alva as a... like, the way it's designed is really good from, like, a lore, you know, lore adherence thing. It's not even like a weird special game mode. It's literally just, you know, you go in and you just play Path of Exile in this big dungeon, right? And that's about it. So I think Alva is one of the best designed, like, bigger, more complicated leagues. Or Incursion, I think, right? But then I just don't think that the time-based stuff makes any sense, especially for PoE2, where they want the game to be slower, but they still have these time-based things, so I don't know. Oh. I think trying to design everything for everyone is a bad idea. I agree, 100%, for sure. Any solution I could think for those things fall into making a single-player / co-op game, so I can't say much about it. Well, Path of Exile is a single-player game, honestly. Like, no, almost nobody plays it multiplayer. But yeah, Don't kill me! Need to go across the bridge, my snakes. Yes, I do think being niche is very important to make a good game. And that's also what makes the game bad, right? Being niche, because it's not for you. So for you it's bad. But for the people that fit the niche, it will be the best game. So I think being niche is fine and also good. I think it's also fine to complain that the niche doesn't include you, but you know, that's just another thing. But yeah, I think sounds like gamer entitlement for sure, for sure. I think I'm entitled to a good game. No, sorry, it's only EA that is entitled to your funds. Yeah. No, Snake, don't walk too close to the wall. I need to blow them up on you. Snake, come out. Alright, we'll pick another snake. If we can find one. Oh. Snake. God damn it. Snake! Come on, come on, come on, come on! There we go. Jeez. Could not think of a worse game company quickly. I mean, in today's world, it's very easy. You just pick one. Can you blow up plants? No. At least I am 90% sure I can't, because the splash damage is the damage done to the initial target. So, yeah, plants are made out of Nintendo. Yeah. So it's gonna just do 1 damage. But I'm still looking at Pantheon now and then, like if they manage to... Because it's like early EA. It's like a tiny studio that's been working on getting this game out for decades, and they're finally in early access. So, you know, if they manage to flesh the game out more later on, I might try, like when they start adding more customization to classes and stuff like that. Might be more interesting. Evening, rat bastard, how's it going? I need to pee. First, we have to finish this pull. Just woke up. Alright, bro. Did you get any cards last night? I saw your message yesterday. I didn't see when it happened. I just had RO on in the background. And when I logged over, when I alt tabbed over to turn it off, it said sup in the chat. And I was just sitting there at like 4 a.m. I played through the night. Fair enough. Fair enough. No cards. Yeah. I got an Anaconda card. Yesterday, I think. So now I only need 3 more. The question is, should I put the wolf card into my Tsurugi? And then, no. Then we need the Vagabond Wolf on top of that. Farm the Vagabond Wolf card. Easy, easy. Just do it. Alright, come here. That's rare? Yeah. Whoa! Holy shit. Yeah, no. But I do need to farm another Andre card. And I need to level a new wizard. The Stone Curse is unplayable. So is Fire Pillar. What's wrong with the other one? Well, so the first wizard I made doesn't have... No, I do have Firewall. So I could play that one, probably. But the build there was to have all of the big AoEs. So I only have like Fireball 5. And then I just have everything else. And the one I have now has max Stone Curse and max Flame Pillar. And they're both bad. So I need to make a new wizard that actually has level 10 Frost Diver. Instead of Stone Curse and Flame Pillar. Because it's the only, you know. I need that. Because like I can't deal with any range mob at all. The skill calculator told me that Stone Curse was instant and it had a range of 9, which is the same and faster than Frost Diver. But it was a lie. It was a lie. It has a range of 2 and it costs... it has a 1 second cast time. So I could not use it as a replacement. Are there any other cool ways to level Merchant or Rogue? It depends what you mean with any other ways. The way you level is you go and get Cart Revolution, and then Thief can level with Bow. Thief can level with Throw Stone. With Thief you go and get Throw Stone, and then you join a Meow party, and then you go and throw rocks at Meows and have a wizard, a mage shoot fireballs at it. And with the Merchant, you go and you Cart Revolution Meows, and then you have a wizard shoot fireballs at them. But otherwise, you know, I don't know. I think if you're gonna level like a rogue or a thief solo, it really just boils down to like going around killing wolves. At around like 40, I went from wolves to soldier skeletons and archer skeletons in Payon 2, and it was pretty bad. It was faster, but you know, the archers are really annoying. So it depends what you mean, like I don't know. For me, the leveling experience is right now like super poisoned by Migao existing at all. So like like going anywhere else feels so bad. It's like literally 100 times slower. Spore, Wolf, Toy Factory is pretty much one vanilla way to level a thief. Seroma can replace Migao. Can it though? I mean, maybe. Migaos are, like in a party, they're so easy to AoE and kill. Maybe they added some random skill or changed something so you can do some other strategy to level. I think that's maybe true once you job change. I think Alchemist is pretty different here, so you might be able to play Alchemist kind of different. But Blacksmith seems the same as it always was. And Rogue is pretty much just, you know, left click on stuff. Unless you make some kind of backstab build, I guess. Blacksmith goes deja vu? What does that mean? Sword. Tsurugi 2, yes. They go drifting. You mean they go cart revolutioning things with 6,000 meat in the bank, or in the cart? That was that what you mean? Anyway, I need to go to the bathroom. Last night I theory crafted the Blitzbeat build and realized you can do like 4k Blitzbeats with 99 luck int. And when we say Blitzbeat, do you mean auto Blitzbeat or manual Blitzbeat? Because you don't need luck for manual, right? Manual? Why do you need luck for that? Does it crit? Does it do more damage with luck? The damage is luck plus int. Okay. So the bird doesn't get more damage from dexterity at all. More than whatever attack you might get. No? Ooh. That's why auto is so good here. So if you have like 1 luck, you do like half damage with it, basically. Or something like that. Or is there like a base value too? Because I wanna do dex int manual blitzbeat. But if you have dex, then well, it's pretty fast anyway, right? So you don't really need to worry that much about the cast speed. But I wanted to do it with traps. Why not the DS build? Because I wanted to throw birds. I want to throw birds and I want to use luck plus... Okay, so int is worse than luck. Let's see, so that's 80. So the base value is 80. And then you can get 99 on top of that from luck. So luck is really strong, okay. But, I mean, it might be fine without having a lot of luck, too. How bad is the vitality scaling for a hunter? Because, like, going agility is, like... I mean, you'd still get damage from the traps, right? Like, it would be mainly trapping, and then you'd still have the bird to do stuff, I guess, if you do that. The question is just like, if you go int dex, I'm just wondering like what might be the smartest way to get some some defensive stuff. If do you go agility, because the agility would be almost meaningless for damage, and the problem with agility is like you need like a lot of it for it to be a good defensive stat. So I'm just like, maybe it's better to just go vitality. I don't know. Forget defensive stats? Oh, just because I have traps, but just dex int. I mean, even if you go 90 both, you'd still have. Vit is good when you have shield and gear upgrades. Field Hunter. I mean, you don't need the bow, right? What do I get? Do I get Cloaking 9? Cloaking 9 good? I don't know what to do with my last 4 skill points. There are not enough skill points in the assassin tree, or enough skills. Yeah, I mean, there's the what is it called? Fortune Blade. Fortune Sword. Maybe just stacking luck for perfect dodge is the best defensive layer you can get there. Woof. I would keep bow on for stuff like charge arrow and arrow shower. Just put a trap down. Easy. Oh, oh, that was fucking close. Do we have a location with lots of leaf cats here? I don't know. We can find out. Leaf cat. Hi. IO dungeon. IO field. I guess you can't see those from here. But yeah. Payon docks. There's Iothia, but you need quest or someone with war. Time to go questing. Hopefully the quest is easy and not like super hard. You never know with this game. Need 8 more jobs for Bard. Migao. Solution is always Migao. I have 10 agility. Yeah, just shoot them. They can't hit you. They're literally... Yeah, I mean, the reality of Migaos is that for most of the time it's, you know, it's best to be in a party to do it. But... Actually, right now in parties, someone is looking for 40 plus for Migaos. Need mage and mobbers, so all you need to do is just go there right now and shoot some Migaos and mob them back to the party, and you're as good as done tonight. Wait, isn't it like 4 o'clock over there? What the fuck? I play on UARO. So good, but Payon seems awesome too. What does UARO have that makes it special? Other than all the people you know there, of course, I guess. Don't move! Fuck you! That was my bad. My bad. My bad. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's time. Go time. Very vanilla, but 5x. Does have a merchant zone too. Yeah, I feel like most servers I've played on before did something like that. This is one of the few ones I've seen when they're just standing around in town, as much as they are. They prevent multi-boxing, so you can only have one account at a time. Here you can have multiple accounts, but the only reason for that is so that you can vendor. on a second account, so you can vendor while you're playing. But they don't allow multi-boxing. Woof woof. It feels like a waste to go and pick up the Anacondacts, but I need them as much as I need the Sidewinders, to be honest. No, I need them more than I need the Sidewinder. I need them 4 times more than I need the Sidewinder. They're the most important thing here. Coffee break? Sounds good. My tea won't arrive until on Monday. Such bullshit. I'm going to the pub? Sounds good. I was thinking of leveling, but I think I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe level that new wizard or something. I'm not gonna stream for too long today. I'm just gonna go and make some food because it's Friday. Probably soon. I might go soon too. But yeah, dude. Have fun at the pub. I mean, it is Friday, so today is like the day to go to the pub, right? So, yeah. Alright, time to kill them. Alright, wait for that drops to move one more time. There we go. I think we're gonna go red either with this or with the next pull. And then I also, you know, I don't know what I'll do, but I should plus 10 a main Gosh. So then the question is, where do I go to farm main Gosh? I could it would probably be easier to just stay here and just farm Sidewinders still. Or just go somewhere else and try farming something else and then just buy a main Gosh now and then and just try to upgrade it to plus 10. Because I'm not gonna have the Anacondax anytime soon. And that's also the next issue. The fact that I need 4 Anacondax. That means just staying on this map. Even longer. The one thing I like about trans classes is that I feel like there are more viable like hybrid int builds there. Or I mean, to some extent it's more like you go full int. I think for Assassin, for example, you can. I actually don't know that much about the trans classes, to be honest. Popo, come here, you bastard. Oh! Fuck. I didn't even mean to attack them there, but, you know. Whoops. That was like the last pull too. Oh, you're not healing. I'm not healing. And now I'm using up my meat. That means that gonna have time for another pull. I won't be able to loot the stuff though, because I need to kill all the guys there. That's gonna take a while and then it's gonna disappear. Jesus Christ! It was like 10 times more than I thought. Hello, Lodinol. I hope you're keeping those Venom Canine. What do I need Venom Canines for? Oh, they disappeared. As expected. Is that all of them? Hey. Oh my god. Are you serious? See this post in the app? Fuck you! I don't care. Just show it to me, bastard. I don't want the Instagram app. I don't want to...
Grouchy. What do you want?
You can't hear it. My mom sent me an AI cat. Thanks. So cute. Yep. Yeah, this is an AI cat. AI cat. I'm just gonna send her a cat gif. Holy shit, I don't know what to say. There we go. Make poison bottles when Trends comes out? Well, I don't know. I'm selling them right now. We don't know when Trends is coming out. That might be like half a year from now. Right now, I'm just selling because I need money more than anything else. And it's not hard to farm these. I could probably have like 1,000 in a day. Miss. All right, we got the snake. He moved. I think we're too far away. He's gonna move again. Yep. Oh, we got him. Regardless. The explosion is kind of big. We can kind of get away with it most of the time. Give me my things. Come on, cast the spell. Now I'm drowsy. Why? Why are you sleepy? Yeah, I think I'm gonna head off after this pull. Long day of complaining. Hard work. Eight hot coffee means milk, sugar, and some coffee. Coffee with sugar is really good though. Shame I don't eat sugar anymore. I only have it in coffee. If it was not, I would drop coffee entirely. For me, it's fine with milk. Like I don't really eat, like I'm basically zero carb. So for me, like milk is pretty sweet. So as long as there's milk in it, I'm fine. But yeah, I think we'll stop there. I'm pretty cooked in the brain. I'm gonna go to my parents for a bit tomorrow, but after that, stream more RO. Maybe level some characters, or maybe just kill more snakes until we get the fucking card. One way or another. Either way, thanks for hanging. Have a good night. I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Hit that follow button. Bye-bye. Card or MH first? Card for sure, because I can just buy it soon.